is where people and me started to get on the same page even more so with what Doc had to say afterwards. Plenty of people in the comments after the show were talking about how they were done with Doc, how Doc is simply ego-driven, and how he needs to move on from this team as soon as humanly possible. Some people were even with me in saying that they would let go of Doc right now because they know how this story's going to end. You might as well try it out with somebody else, whether that's Dan Burke, who coached the team during the season, whether that's Sam Cassell, who has a shot at maybe being a more long-term solution at the position. Not to say Dan Burke doesn't, but I know a lot of people also like Sam Cassell and what he would do here in Philadelphia as a head coach. Frank Vogel has already been moved on from. As a matter of fact, that's now official. The fact that he's no longer there only has officially opened up that door for the LA Lakers as to who their next head coach would be. I feel like their next head coach is going to be Doc Rivers. Let's just end this now. This was a complete and utter failure of Doc Rivers' tenure here in Philadelphia. And as I have been saying, the number one reason I wanted Doc here over anybody else was that nobody else came to Philadelphia or would have brought to Philadelphia the long NBA tenure that Doc Rivers had, the championship as a head coach that Doc Rivers has, the authority and all around respect Doc Rivers had throughout the entire NBA. And the only reason I wanted him here was because of that background, and he would be the only guy that might be able to actually reach Ben Simmons. That obviously didn't happen. Didn't motivate anybody, didn't excite anybody, brought a whole hell of a lot of doubt to Philadelphia. And what are we talking about? More than anything, we're talking about rotations again. I thought that was something that only Brett Brown had issues with. And now Doc Rivers, who's been around a long time, would you ask Pop that question? I would love to hear just once Brett Brown have said, would you ask Pop that question? Because Brett Brown would be like, I would ask Pop that question. I have asked Pop that question. Terrible Brett Brown, but you get the idea. That's just where I would go with. But as far as Doc Rivers went, he's got the same issues. He's got the same problems. And now I don't think James Harden wants to play for this guy. I don't think Joel Embiid wants to play for this guy anymore. I think this entire team is out on Doc. So why would I want that marriage to continue into the playoffs? People in the comments after the show yesterday were very much on that same page, saying things along the lines of Doc's got to go, done with Doc. Duck Rivers, Julian, saw ya, you guys, all yous. Duck Rivers, it's over for Duck. I think, Julian, you were the one with the ego-driven stuff. So for me, that's where I'm at right now when it comes to Doc, and I know that's where a lot of you guys are at right now with Doc Rivers as well. I would be totally fine if the Sixers just said, you know what, maybe for the playoffs, not only we're going to need to find another starter for our games in Canada, but maybe we'll also need another head coach and see how that works out. I feel like Doc right now is lashing out, knowing that this is his last go-around, and he'll be damned if he's going to go out in Philadelphia by taking any guff from media members asking him questions. It's not meant to be a challenge, Doc. It's just meant to be inquisitive. There's a reason we don't have press conferences. People don't want that information from us. We're not answering the questions. You're answering the questions officially for the team. That's what we're more so along the lines of.